What if I told you that Airbus didn't just build a plane? They played a masterstroke in a decades-long rivalry, one that left Boeing scrambling for answers. Behind the smooth curves of the A350 lies a bold strategy, secret boardroom moves, and silent wins in global skies. How did Airbus pull this off? What made the A350 a quiet killer in the wide-body war? In this video, you'll uncover how Airbus beat Boeing at its own game through advanced technology, smart economics, next-gen passenger comfort, and precise market timing. And if you stay till the end, you'll learn the lesser-known moments that tipped the scale, facts that even aviation geeks often miss. Welcome to Airplane Curious. If you're fascinated by the skies, make sure to subscribe and fly with us every week. In the early 2000s, Airbus faced a challenge. Boeing had just introduced the 787 Dreamliner, a fuel-efficient aircraft that promised lower operating costs and a smoother flying experience. Airbus couldn't afford to fall behind, but instead of rushing a competitor to market, they took their time. Their goal wasn't just to match the 787, it was to quietly surpass it. Airbus gathered engineers and executives from across Europe. This wasn't just a French or German project, it was a joint European effort involving teams from Spain, the UK, and other partner nations. Together, they reimagined what a long-haul aircraft should be in the 21st century. Efficiency wasn't just a buzzword, it became the central design principle. One of the most important decisions Airbus made was about the materials. Traditional planes had always relied heavily on aluminum, but Airbus wanted something better, lighter, stronger, and more resistant to fatigue and corrosion. The result was a structure made of 53% carbon fiber reinforced polymers, along with titanium and modern alloys. This was slightly higher than Boeing's 50% composite use in the 787, but that small difference gave the A350 a key advantage in strength and weight distribution. The design of the A350's wings also became a major focus. Airbus created wings that weren't just lighter, they were smarter. Built using advanced carbon composites, these wings flex in flight, reducing drag and improving fuel efficiency. They adjust automatically during flight for better lift and smoother performance, especially during turbulence or changing air conditions. Then came the fuselage. Instead of using a barrel-style design with composite panels joined by metal frames, as Boeing did, Airbus used a one-piece composite fuselage structure. This design reduced the number of fasteners and joints, saving weight and improving overall strength. It also allowed Airbus to shape the cabin more efficiently, giving passengers more room without adding extra bulk. These design choices weren't just about building a strong aircraft, they were about future-proofing it. Airbus wanted the A350 to be easy to maintain, cheaper to fly, and more comfortable to ride, all while meeting the strict environmental standards airlines were facing around the globe. One of Airbus's biggest advantages with the A350 lies deep within its cockpit and control systems. While Boeing stuck with familiar layouts and gradual upgrades, Airbus took a bold step forward, building on the success of its A380 Super Jumbo. At the heart of the A350 is a fully digital, next-generation fly-by-wire system. This means the pilot's commands aren't transmitted through mechanical cables. Instead, they are converted into electronic signals. These signals then pass through computers that make real-time adjustments for better control. It's a system Airbus pioneered years ago, but in the A350, it's smarter, faster, and more refined than ever before. This system improves both safety and performance. It helps stabilize the aircraft in turbulent conditions, manages control surfaces with precision, and reduces the risk of pilot error. The result is a smoother, more controlled flight, even in challenging weather conditions. Another leap is found in the avionics, the electronic brain of the aircraft. Airbus designed the A350's avionics to be modular and highly integrated. Systems talk to each other faster. Redundancy is built in, meaning backup systems are ready the moment anything goes wrong. These improvements also mean fewer parts, fewer wires, and lower chances of failure. Maintenance teams benefit too. The systems can automatically diagnose issues and alert ground crews before the plane even lands. This reduces delays and cuts repair times significantly. Airlines save money and passengers enjoy better on-time performance. Inside the cockpit, pilots are greeted with a more intuitive, high-tech layout. There are 6 large interchangeable LCD displays, each capable of showing multiple types of information. The head-up display, projected onto a transparent screen in front of the pilot, lets them keep their eyes forward while still seeing crucial data like speed, altitude, and flight path. Airbus also redesigned the control layout to feel more natural and less cluttered. The side-stick controller, already popular in Airbus planes, remains, giving pilots precise handling with minimal movement. It frees up space in the cockpit and allows for easier entry and exit during long-haul flights. The entire setup was designed not just for cutting-edge function, but for comfort and clarity. Pilots report that the A350 cockpit is one of the most pilot-friendly environments ever made. When passengers step onto the Airbus A350, many notice something feels different. It's subtle at first, but by the end of a long-haul flight, it becomes impossible to ignore. One of the most praised features of the A350 is its cabin width. At over 18 inches per seat in economy class, it's noticeably roomier than many Boeing aircraft, especially the 787 Dreamliner. That extra inch or two doesn't sound like much on paper, but in the air, it makes a big difference. Passengers aren't brushing shoulders or fighting for elbow space. On ultra-long-haul flights, that added comfort matters. Then there's cabin pressure and humidity. The A350 maintains a cabin altitude equivalent to just 6,000 feet, lower than most jets in service. Combined with higher humidity levels, passengers arrive feeling less fatigued and dehydrated. Headaches, dry eyes, and jet lag are reduced. Airbus didn't just design a plane, they engineered a better flying experience. Noise reduction is another standout. Thanks to its composite structure and advanced engine design, the A350 is significantly quieter than older wide-body aircraft. Engines hum more gently. The cabin feels calm, even at cruising altitude. It's no surprise that frequent flyers describe it as the most peaceful ride in the sky. But the A350 isn't just quiet and comfortable. It's also packed with smart features. One of the most futuristic touches is the tail camera. Passengers can watch live footage from a high-definition camera mounted on the tail fin. It offers a real-time view of takeoffs, landings, and the world below. For many, it's one of the most thrilling in-flight experiences, and it's something Boeing doesn't offer on most of its aircraft. Entertainment systems on the A350 are also top tier. Airlines customize them, but most offer large, responsive touchscreens, USB-C ports, Bluetooth headphone compatibility, and hundreds of hours of movies and music. Everything feels modern and smooth. Frequent flyer blogs like 1 Mile at a Time regularly praise the A350 for comfort. Passengers often say they feel better after flying in one, even on ultra-long routes. Whether it's the lighting, air quality, quiet atmosphere, or seating, the A350 leaves a lasting impression. When it comes to aircraft, beauty and innovation matter, but what truly seals the deal for airlines is money. Fuel costs, maintenance, downtime, all of it adds up, and this is where the Airbus A350 really begins to shine. From the start, Airbus focused heavily on fuel efficiency. The A350 was designed to consume significantly less fuel than the older generation of wide-body aircraft. In fact, compared to models like the A340 or early Boeing 777s, the A350 delivers 10 to 25% fuel savings. That's a massive difference for airlines operating long-haul routes. Every drop of fuel saved means more profit and fewer emissions. Much of that efficiency comes from the A350's advanced materials. With over 50% of the aircraft made from carbon fiber reinforced composites, it's not just light, it's strong and resilient. These materials reduce the aircraft's overall weight, which leads directly to lower fuel consumption. Combined with new generation Rolls-Royce Trent XWB engines, the A350 offers some of the best fuel economy in its class. But the savings don't stop at fuel. One of the most important figures for any airline is the operating cost per seat mile.
Simply put, it's how much it costs to fly each passenger 1 mile. The A350 was built to keep this number low. Thanks to its efficient layout, lightweight structure, and aerodynamic design, airlines can fly more passengers, longer distances, while spending less. This makes it ideal for high-demand routes between major international hubs. Another big win for the A350 is reliability. The aircraft was engineered with simplicity and long-term durability in mind. Airbus reduced the number of parts, streamlined the systems, and designed components for easier inspection and servicing. Fewer moving parts mean fewer things that can break. As a result, airlines operating the A350 report higher dispatch reliability, meaning fewer delays and cancellations due to mechanical issues. That reliability also translates to lower maintenance costs. Traditional aircraft often require frequent, expensive checks and part replacements. But the A350, with its composite structure and modular systems, allows for longer intervals between major overhauls. Airlines save both time and money. Plus, when maintenance is needed, it's quicker and less complex. And when an aircraft is on the ground, it isn't making money. That's why the A350's ability to spend more time in the air with fewer technical interruptions gives it a serious edge in day-to-day operations. In the end, Airbus didn't just build a fuel-efficient jet. They built an aircraft that's cheaper to run, easier to maintain, and ready to fly more often. For any airline executive comparing long-term value, the A350 makes a strong financial case. While Boeing focused on refining the 787 and developing the 777X, Airbus made smart, steady moves with the A350. The result? A lead in one of the most competitive corners of commercial aviation, long-haul, wide-body jets. As of now, Airbus has received more than 1,300 orders for the A350 from airlines across the world. From major global carriers to emerging players in Asia and the Middle East, the A350 has become a preferred choice. In contrast, Boeing has struggled to keep up with its 777X program. That aircraft, which was meant to be Boeing's answer to the A350-1000, has seen years of delays. Certification problems, production issues, and safety concerns have all played a role. These delays didn't just slow Boeing down, they opened the door for Airbus to scoop up large orders that might have gone to its American rival. For example, Emirates, one of the world's biggest long-haul airlines, reduced its 777X order and shifted part of it to the A350. That decision sent a clear signal across the aviation industry. Airlines were tired of waiting for the 777X.
The situation with Qantas tells a similar story. The Australian flag carrier needed a modern, long-range aircraft for its ambitious Project Sunrise, which aims to connect Sydney directly to cities like London and New York. After a long review process, Qantas chose the Airbus A350-1000. The airline cited not just performance, but also Airbus's ability to deliver on time. Meanwhile, Boeing's delays made the 777X an unreliable option. Production capability also played a big role in Airbus's advantage. Over the last few years, Airbus has been able to ramp up production of the A350, aiming for 10 to 12 aircraft per month in the near future. Boeing, on the other hand, has faced delivery slowdowns due to ongoing inspections, labor issues, and supply chain disruptions. In 2023, Airbus delivered significantly more wide-body jets than Boeing, adding to its lead in this high-value market. Airbus also benefited from making the A350 available in multiple versions early on. The base model A350-900 offered excellent range and efficiency, while the A350-1000 gave airlines more seating capacity without compromising on performance. Boeing's 777X, in contrast, still hasn't entered service. Even though it promises great things on paper, airlines are now hesitant to wait. In addition to large carriers, Airbus has seen growing interest from smaller and newer airlines that value the A350's fuel efficiency and reliability. In regions like Southeast Asia, airlines are looking to modernize fleets quickly. Airbus has made sure the A350 is ready and available, which gives it a major advantage over competitors still stuck in the design or certification phase. Even with Boeing working hard to catch up, Airbus's early moves, combined with Boeing's missteps, have helped it take a strong position in the long-haul market. The A350's growing presence at major airports around the world speaks louder than any sales pitch. Airbus didn't just stop at making the A350. They planned for the future from the very beginning. The A350 comes in several variants, each tailored for different airline needs.
The A350-1000, for example, is longer, carries more passengers, and directly competes with Boeing's largest aircraft. Then there's the ultra-long-range version, the A350-900 ULR, built to fly some of the world's longest routes like Singapore to New York without refueling. Airbus also developed a freighter version, opening the door to the cargo market and giving airlines even more flexibility. But it's not just about new versions. Airbus has a clear production goal. They're aiming to produce 12 A350s per month by 2028. That's a significant jump from current output and shows how confident they are in continued demand. Meanwhile, Boeing is still struggling to get its 777X program off the ground. It has faced delays, certification issues, and even questions from customers about timelines. While the 777X has impressive specs on paper, the long wait has made some airlines turn to Airbus instead. Airbus isn't just reacting to the market, they're shaping it. With a solid long-term plan, they're setting the pace for the next generation of wide-body jets. Airbus didn't just build a new plane, they redefined what a modern wide-body jet should be. With the A350, they focused on the right mix of technology, passenger comfort, fuel efficiency, and long-term strategy. From its advanced composite materials to its ultra-quiet cabin and cutting-edge cockpit systems, every detail was part of a larger plan to outpace Boeing. While Boeing faced setbacks with the 777X, Airbus kept moving forward. The result? The A350 now leads the skies in its category, trusted by airlines across the world for both long-haul passenger service and growing cargo needs. Looking ahead, Airbus is preparing for even more growth, with increased production and new variants. Boeing, on the other hand, has a lot to prove with the 777X still under development. The competition isn't over, but right now, Airbus is clearly in the lead. If you enjoyed this breakdown of how Airbus outsmarted Boeing with the A350, make sure to like this video and subscribe to Airplane Curious for more deep dives into aviation's most fascinating stories. Thanks for watching, and see you on the next flight.